Hi, Talaj.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thanks.
Do you see any chances of creating progress in your road plan for peaceful negotiations and reaching a settlement with the war in Gaza still continuing? And secondly, um, is there a possibility, do you see a possibility of expanding of the conflict to the state of war, although the United States and the United Kingdom are trying to hold back, not to affect your efforts in the area, in the region? But do you, with the Houthis not listening to the logic and reason of stopping their attacks on ships, do you see possibilities for flare-up in the region?
So on the regional bit, I think that um, let me say on Yemen, as long as we don't have an agreement, a firm agreement, a signed agreement between the parties that they commit to a ceasefire, and that, we have a commitment from the parties that they want to move in that direction, but we don't have a signed agreement from the parties that they will move towards the implementation of a ceasefire mechanism. As long as we don't have that, the situation in Yemen will remain fragile, and the return, or the possibility for a return of the war will always be there. The situation in the region, as we have seen, there has been cause for concern by the Secretary General about the spillover effects of the situation in Gaza and the potential flare-ups from a more regional perspective. There, and as I mentioned in the Council today, my point when it comes to Yemen is that what happens in the region obviously affects Yemen, and what happens in Yemen affects the region. So from my point of view, and the work that I'm conducting is to make sure that we stabilize the current fragile situation in Yemen, so that that can contribute positively to the situation in Yemen. You also asked about, can we move forward while the situation in Gaza remains, the tragedy continues to unfold as it does today in Gaza. There, I think it's important that we accept the interlinkage between the different issues that we see in the region right now, but that we don't conditionalize the solutions of these different files. And there, I would want to be able and to push, and I will continue to push, to move forward on a peaceful resolution of the conflict in Yemen without conditionalizing it on the overall situation.
You don't conditionalize it, but the facts on the ground might have a way of its own, and they go their own way.
Absolutely, but these are challenges that I face on a daily basis, and that I adapt my mediation efforts on the basis of the current situation that I face, but always with a long-term direction in mind. So that's why I think that it's very important that we remind ourselves the long-term direction is in place. It's not changing, but the adaptation of my mediation efforts is on the basis of what I face on a daily basis. But the concern I have is that if we start to conditionalize, if I start saying, for example, I can't move forward unless Gaza is resolved, then I start to contribute to that. So I will not want to enter into that type of speculation. Thanks.